Hi and welcome to MTG Managed Good. Today we have another card spoiled from the conspiracy set, and she is Marchesa the Black Rose, our 3/3 human wizard legendary creature for 1 generic, 1 blue, 1 black, and 1 red, our greasiest creature, with a new mechanics called Dethrone. And whenever this creature attacks the player with the most life or tied for the most life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Other creatures you control have Dethrone. Whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, return that card to the battlefield under your control at the beginning of the next end step. So it's a bunch of text on on the text box, and with a new mechanics Dethrone, I think this new card in Conspiracy is super duper cool. It is very Greases like and super awesome. And definitely fit for a multiplayer game like Commander, EDH, or whatever you want to call it. And the Dethrone mechanics, I think, is quite interesting. You can see definitely a bunch of plays with it. There's tons of live gain commanders out there, and so now with the Dethrone, you might not really want to be the one with the most life. So yeah, there you go, Marchesa the Black Rose, and some interesting interactions with this card for your EDH or Commander decks would be cards such as Garath's Messenger. Is a 3/2 zombie for 3 black mana. It enters the battlefield tap. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent loses 2 life. And it has Undying. So Undying with the Marchesa's Dethrone ability is really very interesting, as Undying gives the creature a +1/+1 counter when it dies and come back to the battlefield. With Marchesa, your Undying creature gets to undie again and it gets to revive them again and again. And so with Marchesa on the field and another creature with Undying on the field, basically as long as Marchesa don't die, your creatures are basically indestructible, and they'll keep coming back. And another interesting card to go with Marchesa is Dictate of Erebos. And again with creatures, if you have creatures with Undying along with Marchesa, Dictate of Erebos is extremely overpowered. Whenever a creature dies, each opponent sacrifices a creature and your creature gets to come back to the battlefield again. So yep, there you go, Dictate of Erebos. You found a pretty powerful combo with it, with Marchesa and Dying. And the next card that I'll be looking at is a Grave Betrayal. It's an enchantment for 7 mana. Yes, it is not really standard or modern playable, but in EDH, with this enchantment, whenever a creature you don't control dies, return it to the battlefield under your control with an additional +1/+1 counter at the beginning of the next end step. That creature is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. So another enchantment, another card on the battlefield to give you advantage, to give you control of a creature that died, and giving you a +1/+1 counter on them, making use of Marchesa's abilities, Dethrone, and its passive ability bringing creatures back to the battlefield if it has a +1/+1 counter on it. So there you go, another interesting card. And the last one that we'll be looking at is Unspeakable Symbol. It's an enchantment for 3. And you may pay 3 life to put a +1/+1 on target creature. So the +1/+1 counter is an obvious upside for Marchesa's passive ability, but the good thing is you pay 3 life to do it, and you can pay as much life as you want to put as many +1/+1 counter on any creature. So with Marchesa's ability of Dethrone, you can actually just make yourself your life total lower than other players to trigger your Dethrone ability. So there you go, Unspeakable Symbol, and your new card spoiled, which is Marchesa the Black Rose, our 3/3 legendary human wizard. I think this is super awesome. I'm very excited about Conspiracy set. Hopefully the next 60 cards, if I'm not wrong, yep, the next 60 cards is as good as what they have spoiled. Usually it isn't the case, but I'm keeping my hopes up. And for our next news for today is actually for our Friday Night Magic promo alternate art foil. We have Bowblind, and yes, this art is super duper awesome. I love this art very much. And it's another very useful card. Is standard playable. I think it is quite modern playable as well. So there you go, Bao Blight, your FNM promo. Do head over to your local game shop for all the games and try to win as much as you can to get this card. And that's it for this episode. And let us know what you think of Marchesa, how do you pronounce it, in Conspiracy in the comments below, and your opinions on the new art for Bao Blight. And that's it for this episode. As always, if you like to support the channel, please do hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.